3 important things that you need to know about background checks. Hi, this is Consumer Protection Attorney Bill Clanton. I've helped hundreds of consumers deal with bad background checks, inaccurate credit reports, and other consumer-related matters. In this video, I'm talking about 3 important facts, 3 rights that you have concerning background checks. The third one is one that not a lot of people know about. Now, the first one is you have to give consent for a potential employer to run a background check on you. Not everybody knows this. You have to give it in writing. It has to be written consent. Some applications have a little checkbox. Some of them, by signing the application, you agree to it automatically. Now, you're not required to consent to a background check, but an employer, if you don't do a background check, an employer has the right to not hire you. So you're probably going to have to do a background check if you want to get the job. That's the reality of that situation. But you do have to consent to it, except for some cases with trucking. But for almost every other job, you have to give your consent for them to run that background check. Pre-adverse action reports. This one is well known, but not well understood. How can somebody give you a pre-adverse action report? Well, okay, what is an adverse action first? In the context of a background check, when you're applying for a job, an adverse action is a decision not to hire you. Or if you already have the job, it's a decision not to promote you. So those are adverse actions in the context of a background check. How would an employer know they're going to fire you unless they've already decided to fire you? How do they do a pre-adverse action notice? Well, here's the thing. If a background check comes back and says that you've got a felony record, and the company knows that they don't hire people who have felony backgrounds, then they, without looking at anything else, they will say that you are likely not going to get hired for this job. So they'll send you a pre-adverse action report. Now, they haven't looked at it closely. They haven't read the report to see if the felony was dismissed. They haven't done a complete examination, but they just know that if there's a felony on your background, they're likely not to hire you, and they send a pre-adverse action letter at that point. Also, this is not as well known, but the background check company is supposed to send you a pre-adverse action letter as well when there's adverse action, when there's adverse material, when there's a negative reporting like that could affect your ability to get the job. Okay, now number 3, the one that not a lot of folks know. You have the right to dispute inaccurate information on your background check. A background check is just another form of a credit report. If you're familiar with credit reports, then you'll know that you can dispute inaccurate information on your credit report, and the bureau who's reporting is supposed to do an investigation. Well, the same thing is true of a background check. If you apply for a job and you get back a pre-adverse action report that has inaccurate information on it and it's going to keep you from getting a job, you can dispute that with the background check company. And they have to do an investigation and correct their reporting if it's inaccurate. Now, how should you go about disputing inaccurate background check information? With a letter. Write the background check company a letter. A lot of background check companies will take phone calls and they'll direct you to their website. You go to their website and they want you to fill in a form. And at the bottom of that form, in small print, you agree to arbitration, which is handling a case against them outside of court. Arbitration can be less favorable, certainly less predictable than taking a case to court. It's generally not a good move. So be on the lookout for inaccurate information in a background check and dispute it in writing with a letter. All right. Also, if you get an adverse action report, you should also get a document titled A Summary of Your Rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which will have information about what you can do and what your rights are under the FCRA. All right. I hope you've learned something watching this video. And if you have, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends or other folks you know that are looking for a job or may need this information. Thank you for watching.